giving you a voice,
making it loud our own way.
Welcome to the fun.
The Robots to the Rescue Challenge on First Updates Now is brought to you by PTC. Don't forget that you can register for Onshape for free and start designing right in your browser at onshape.com/education-plan. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Robots to the Rescue Awards ceremony. Wow, this is going to be an incredible evening that we have here. Of course, being broadcast on First Updates Now. We got to give a big shout out, though, to PTC and Onshape for putting this together and the incredible work that they put in to really make this happen. If you are watching live, by the way, for our live audience in particular, you're going to see a lot of giveaways happening during the stream. Of course, PTC is giving away thousands of dollars to teams for registration, which is absolutely incredible, and other things which I'm sure we'll hear about. But for live chat, we're also going to be giving away a few different things, some Amazon gift cards and some AndyMark gift cards as well, too. So just want to give a big heads up to all of you who are watching live that you need to make sure you are following the channel if you're interested in winning a giveaway, and then we'll have a keyword for you to type in, which you can type in later on during the show. With that said, we can't wait to get in to everything. And today I do want to introduce your Master of Ceremonies for tonight. She's the Director of Academic Marketing and Creative Content at PTC. So everybody, if you can give a big welcome, please, to Alyssa Walker.
Thank you, Tyler. Welcome, everyone, to the Robots to the Rescue Awards ceremony. Super excited to have you here tonight. You've all been working hard for the past several weeks, and tonight is the night. We're so excited to have everyone. Before we get started, let's just be sure we really take a minute here to fully appreciate what you've been able to accomplish to this point. So we've had 151 total submissions, 53 from FRC teams and 98 from FTC. 460 total teams originally registered. That represents over 1,000 individual participants, but you all tonight represent the stalwarts because you pushed through and made it to the finish line, so you can feel good about that. The submissions we'll see tonight come from 10 different countries around the world and represent over 6,000 hours of work, and that's just the time that you spent in Onshape. That's the equivalent of 258 consecutive days, and you all did it in just a few weeks. And many of you had never even used Onshape before this competition, and you had to do it all remotely, which is super impressive. I think those numbers are definitely worth celebrating. And speaking of impressive numbers, let's dive a little bit deeper into what you spent all that time in Onshape creating. So 2,477 documents, over 3,000 unique parts created natively in Onshape. So you didn't just import them from another program, you created them from nothing in Onshape. Your submissions included over 19,000 part studio features, and over 26,000 features were involved overall. So impressive and so exciting. And one last stat before we move on. I think you'll all appreciate this. All that work I just talked about, the majority of it took place in the last week of the competition. Almost 1/6 of your time in Onshape was spent there on the day the submissions were due. So clearly y'all like to wait until the last minute. Tonight we'll be celebrating all of that work regardless of when you actually did it. And throughout the course of the evening, you'll have the chance to see all of the 151 submissions that were turned in. And we'll have several giveaways, as Tyler mentioned, so be sure you stay through right till the end. Hang out, check out everything that's going on. Let me introduce our judges and our presenters that will be taking us through the submissions and winners tonight. So we've got an all-star cast. Dave Corcoran is the head of product management for Onshape and is somewhat of a legend in the world of CAD. He's also been one of the biggest cheerleaders for you all in this competition. John McElhaney, or Johnny Mac, is a co-founder of Onshape and the former CEO of SolidWorks, another CAD legend. Mackenzie Brunel is a biomedical engineer coming out of WPI. She works with us at PTC. She's got a long history working with first as a student, then as a mentor and as a judge. We've also got Mark Chelly, who is a software engineer from PTC and a former FIRST mentor. Mark actually manages all of our community outreach with the FIRST program, and he happens to be the organizer of the Robots to the Rescue competition. So we're glad to have Mark here and all of our judges. These will be our 4 judges throughout the evening, and you'll get a chance to hear from all of them as we go through. We'll also have John Herstick, the founder of SolidWorks and co-founder of Onshape, here to present a special award, and I'll introduce him more later on. So welcome to all of them, and again, welcome to everyone that's here. If you're just joining us, be sure to type !PTC into the chat to get up to speed. Let's get started, though, with the top 50 countdown. Mark, why don't you start us off at number 50?
Sure. Tyler, I think we are seeing Discord right now, so I think you'll have to minimize Discord for us. Thank you. All righty. So let's get started here with our countdown. So coming in at number 50, we have FTC 11166 Big Red Robotics with the Cathari robot, which is a shoe and floor sanitization robot that uses UV light and a scrubbing mechanism. And at 49th place, we have FTC 11770 Curiosity with Beachy, the cleanup robot, which is a low-cost robotic beach trash cleaning robot. And then at 48th, we have 13601, the Beaverbots, with a really cool robot that works to remove microplastics from waterways autonomously. Very cool. And then 47th place, we have FTC 12997 Cosmos with a robot that takes temperatures and evaluates if a person should be let into a business establishment due to COVID-19. Very cool. And then in 46th place,
that is Dave.
Go ahead, Dave. Take it away.
We have FTC 7149, the EHT Palin Forces with Project Apollo. It's a robot that provides COVID test kits to patients waiting in cars for protection purposes. And at 45, we have Quantum Stingers, FTC number 13380. It's a disinfecting robot designed to sterilize surfaces in stores and hospitals to prevent the spread of bacteria. At 44, we have FRC number 1156, Under Control. It's nicknamed the Ocelot, and it's capable of detecting illegal deforestation efforts and reporting the location of those activities to the authorities. At number 43, we have FRC team number 6636 with Full Metal Beavers. This is a robot that sorts trash to find recyclable materials.
Great. And then at 42, we have FRC team number 4272, the Maverick Boiler Robotics team, who built a product safe snack robot that delivers snack items to patients to maintain zero contact and reduce the spread of germs further within a hospital. The next at 41, we have FTC team number 479, Sci Fusion. This robot helps guide visually impaired people through unfamiliar buildings by navigating around obstacles, adjusting to the user's speed, and then responding to voice input. Then at number 40, we have FTC team number 9784, Dry Ice, who made the Ventilator X robot as a low-cost autonomous ventilator. And then at 39, we have FRC team number 900, the Zebracorns, who made a low-cost bomb and explosive disposal robot.
And for team number 38, or submission number 38, winner number 38, we have FRC number 272, the Cyber Crusaders. The Clarence APD, the autonomous package delivery robot, can deliver packages and climb stairs. For winner number 37, we have team number 13180, Rover Drive. The main function of CLEAR, which stands for Cleaner Equipped Autonomous Robot, is to clean any surface, no matter its height or orientation. Number 36 is team number 14278, which is Zeo. The Charybda robot identifies, collects, and compacts trash from the top of the ocean. And number 35 is from team number 16156, R Cubed. The PPU robot is a mass PPE waste pickup system.
And at number 34, we have FTC 14020, Nemesis Prime, with the BuddyBot, which acts as an item grabber robot and works with Frog Force's robot that acts as a cart. At 33, we have FRC 2830, the Riverside Robo-Tigers, with a robot that delivers cups to patients in nursing homes using a manual storage system and delivery system that allows nurses more time to tend to the patient's well-being. And then at 32, we have FTC 14969 Vortex with a robot designed to deliver medicine and other supplies to patients in hospitals. And then 31, we have FTC 14535 Alpacas with a medical facility robot that uses UV light to sanitize surfaces and other objects in order to help prevent the spread of germs and disease.
And coming up at number 30, we have FTC team number 048, WizTech. They've created a telemedic robot that's a no-contact robot that monitors patients' health in order to limit the spread of contagions. At 29, we have FTC 12731 Bulldog Robotics, a UVC light patrol bot that sanitizes grocery store shelves with UVC lights. At 28, we have FTC team number 16598 Rebel Robotics, which is a microplastic extraction robot that autonomously removes microplastics from fragile ecosystems such as coral reefs. And at 27, we have FTC team 7462 with their robot Not to Scale, great name. And this floor robot, F-Lore, collects litter and trash from roadways.
And then at 26, we have FTCT number 14486, the Asteroids, with a floor sanitizing autonomous robot that uses UVC light. Then at 25, we have FRC team number 1836, the Milken Knights, with their robot that's a firefighting robot with a hose nozzle mounted on it. Then team number 24 is FTC team number 7039, Lord of the Bricks, a decontamination capsule for mail, packages, and other small items. And then number 23 is FRC team number 2976, the Spartabots. They have a trash bot that's designed to clean up roadside trash and litter.
I think you're muted, John.
I wasn't muted. I was waiting for that bumper to come up here. Team number 22 is winner number 22. FTC number 151 is StarTech. It's a robot that selectively recycles items that are collected by another robot. Number 21 is from team number 10396. Raiders of the Ark Silver. I mean, these names are great. Still, I have to say, Not to Scale is one of my favorites. But the Galileo robot assists doctors in operations and treatments and assists patients who are in isolation due to COVID. Number 20. It's from team number 13162, Apollo. The Disinfect Bot is a hospital disinfecting robot that works with another robot to deliver items in the hospital. And number 19 is from FTC number 2142, G-Force. The multi-purpose emergency responding companion, Merc. It's a multi-purpose robot that can respond to any emergency, whether where a liquid or an aerosol needs to be deployed.
And then in 18th, we have FTC 2123, the Mad Engineers. The Atom robot here is a robot designed to replace the role of pharmacists, cashiers, and security guards. In 17th, we have FTC 7519, Cougar Botics, with Mr. Assistant, a robot that's designed to support nurses in a hospital setting by delivering food and medication to patients. And then at number 16, we have FRC 1466, Web Robotics, a disinfecting robot that sanitizes packages to prevent the spread of COVID-19. And then in 15th, we have FRC 8027, not the droids you're looking for. Love that name. With their nurse bot, which checks patients at the entrance of a hospital for symptoms to limit virus exposure for medical professionals.
Coming up at number 14, we have FRC Team 7461 with Sushi Squad. This robot's a portable trash and debris collector that pulls trash from tight spaces. And at number 13, we have FRC Team 223 with Extreme Heat. It's a grocery bot that efficiently and inexpensively collects groceries in a standard grocery store and transfers as a delivery service. At number 12, we have FRC Team 2992 with the SS Prometheus. This robot is designed to lift and raise a companion robot and groceries to help prevent contamination and spread of viruses. And at number 11, we have FRC Team 1197 Torbots with the Torbox robot. And this is a package delivery robot that assists UPS drivers while keeping their deliveries within their deliveries while keeping them safe.
And then team number 10 is FRC 5414 Paradox. The product extracting automatic robot moves objects to aid the elderly or physically impaired. And then in number 9, keeping with that fruit theme, is FRC team number 2067 Apple Pie, with a curbside delivery robot that helps a local business deliver produce to customers waiting in cars.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. A great job on those robots and great names. We were talking about it as a judges team and just wondering what all the stories were behind these names, because we're sure there's stories behind them. Would love to hear them at some point. So congratulations to the top 50. Obviously, we got from number 50 down to number 9. You'll see the remaining 8 later on in the show. Just a reminder, if you're just now joining us, be sure to type !PTC in the chat to get up to speed. And now for our first giveaway, we'll bring in our producer, Tyler.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So, guys, lots of cool giveaways coming up, and we can't wait to show you what's going on with these as well, too. So I actually have to ask our host, Alyssa, what is our first giveaway that we're doing? So it's a $50 Amazon gift card. So if you're interested in winning that, you get to type in the keyword. And I'm just going to put it in chat before I completely mess up how to pronounce somebody's last name on here. So go ahead and type that in the chat. And it's going to be our speaker coming up in a little bit. I'm sure Alyssa can properly pronounce that so I don't mess that up. Please do so, Alyssa, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it is John Herstick.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's an appropriate keyword for our first giveaway because our next presenter is John Herstick. John is a CAD software developer and the co-founder of Onshape, as I mentioned earlier. He's also the founder and former CEO of SolidWorks, which many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with. So I got to say, John is one of the coolest people I know. The more I get to know him, just the more impressed I am with all the cool things he's done and just all the difference he's making in the world in terms of these different products and things that are available to you as you're building robots and kind of designing the future. You've probably tried SolidWorks before, and now you've used Onshape, and John is one of the masterminds behind both of them, so it's pretty great to have him here. He comes out of MIT and is yet another legend in the world of CAD, a thought leader, and he's definitely an innovator, and that's why we've asked him to present the next distinguished award, which is the Woodie Flowers Award for Most Unique Design. The winner of this award will also receive $500 as a prize, and I'll let John tell you a little bit more about it.
Well, thank you very much, Alyssa. And I want to first say thank you to all of you. The work you've done is so inspiring to all of us and so gratifying, not only in your use of Onshape and not only in your creation of incredibly professional, thoughtful work, all of you, but also in the determination and resourcefulness and improvisational skills you showed doing this work during this COVID crisis. And our hearts go out to all you and your families and your friends, and I hope that you're all doing as well as possible during this situation. But your work, we're supposed to come here and inspire you, but it's you who have inspired us with your work. So it's a great honor to be here in general, but particularly to be able to speak about one of my all-time mentors and great teachers who influenced my life, Professor Woodie Flowers. Woodie was a professor at MIT, and I actually took his class in 1981. What was called the 270 class, which was remarkably like a FIRST competition before there was FIRST. Woodie taught us so much about how to think about design and creativity and human needs and practically building things and just communications, more than I could even, a spirit of friendly competition and how to promote ideas and drive people to do their best. And like I say, I'm tremendously honored to remember him. It was a shock when he passed away last year. Co-founding FIRST, one of just many things he did that was fantastic in his life. I actually wanted to also share that this is the Woodie, the picture there, as you may have known him. Here's a picture that I found as I remember him in the 80s there. There he is in his white suit, and this is at the 1981 MIT 270 design competition. And I actually went down to the basement and dug out my own machine that I built in this class. And here it is. Oh, wait, let me turn off the background just a moment. I actually kept my machine. This class was made such a profound impact on me, and I worked so hard building the machine. I learned so much. I could never quite bring myself to throw it away. And so I've saved this since 1981. Here's my machine that I built in Woodie's class, 270 at MIT. It was a competition to put a round peg in a square hole. And it was a wonderful, wonderful class. So in Woodie's memory, we present now the award, the Woodie Flowers Most Unique Design Award. This is for a design that captures innovative mindset and spirit of Woodie, a robot who takes a unique approach and solves a real-world problem with intelligent design. And I have to say, this was a very, very difficult choice that the judges worked on with me. And the winner is, drum roll, the Cathari robot from Big Red Robotics, FTC number 11166. We chose this award because it used, like many robots, thought about a sanitization theme. We loved the way it had a dual function going toward the floor and up above. It was not the most complicated robot, but complication doesn't always mean a more innovative design. And it looked very realistically buildable, which I think Woodie would have liked. I think he also would have liked the attention to a bit of styling and appearance as well. And again, this was a very, very tough decision, but hats off to Big Red Robotics and what we think was a great innovative design. Woodie would be proud, and so are all of us.
Great. Thank you, John. And congratulations, team 11166 Big Red Robotics. Super impressive design, and as John said, very clean and slick and very unique in the whole scheme of all the submissions. Remember, if you're just joining, be sure to type in !PTC in the chat to be sure to get up to speed. And now we'll turn it back over to Tyler, who will announce the winner of our first giveaway.
Yeah, once again, you type in John's name in the chat. That was your opportunity to win. Many of you, by the way, just as a side note, I mean, you can type as many times as you want, but you only get one entry. Just a heads up for that. People love the spam as much as it's the one thing we're okay with people spamming usually. So with that said, by the way, anybody, if you do want a live giveaway tonight, please shoot First Updates Now a message either here in Twitch or at Fun's Discord with your email address. And for Andy Mark, we might need your shipping information as well too. So just reach out to us. We'll make sure we get that to you. With that said, our winner of our first giveaway is going to be Jessica Sikarsky. Congratulations. Make sure you reach out and we'll get that over to you. And thanks again to PTC for the gift card.
Congratulations, Jessica. We'll move on now to our next set of awards, the Superlative Awards. So these awards go to the teams that, independent of point totals, did some pretty notable things with their robots. Each of these teams will receive $100, and Mackenzie's going to kick things off for us with the Superlative Award. So Mackenzie.
Great, thank you very much, Alyssa. And so to go into our Superlative Awards, the first one's going to be for a grant for $100 for your team next year. And so our first one is going to be for the first submission. So the first submission award recognizes that the early bird gets the worm. So the winner of this award was the team that was way ahead of the game. To win this award, they submitted their design first and also submitted a complete robot and met all of the competition requirements. And so that team is FTC team number 7519, Cougar Robotics. They had the Mr. Assistant robot designed to support nurses in a hospital setting by delivering food and medication to patients. And so I really do just want to say thank you to this team. I know on behalf of Mark and myself, for sure, we were definitely stressing a lot once we sent out that submission form. We didn't have any robots for a little while, a few days, and we were kind of getting nervous. And then that was the only submission we had for more than a week. So we were definitely getting pretty anxious, but it was great that we got a submission in. And not only was it a submission, it was a submission that had actually done really well. It was a very well-rounded submission with some great, with a great problem statement where they had some good statistical evidence that they backed up why that was needed, that they actually should be having these to assist nurses because of the current crisis going on and how few nurses there are right now to assist and take care of these patients. And then also just the technical aspect of the robot actually going around to deliver the trays to patient. They thought through how it would know which room to go to with having colored stickers on these trays for medication and food, and then having a color sensor that could then tell it which room to go to next. So all around, it was a great submission.
Great. Johnny, up next with the Darn Good Documentation Award.
I love this one, Alyssa, because details matter, and you got to be able to communicate things with people. And in the end, documenting your idea and communicating with other people is just so critical. So this was a great one to award, and there was lots of great submissions. But Darn Good Documentation, it recognizes a team that did a great write-up coinciding with sort of the robot and the whole submission. And the team recognized this award, included all the information that judges needed to understand the problem they're solving, but also they presented it in a very unique and elegant way. And I'll take you through some of what this team did. So the winner of the Darn Good Documentation Award is, go to the next slide, is FTC number 2142 G-Force. And this team built what they call Merc, which is a multi-purpose emergency responding companion robot. And it's a multi-purpose robot that for any emergency, whether it's fires or if in fact it needs to be areas that need to be sanitized. This was a team out of Mumbai, India that did a fantastic job describing the robot and also the purpose. And I think if you look at the slides, you can see they did a great job of graphically kind of giving you a high-level overview of kind of the system, whether it's the canister, the sensor, et cetera. And then in addition to that, they included some great information in terms of they had the whole team go through and do a video that they included actually as a document inside of Onshape, because Onshape allows you to have everything really as one container. And each of the members of the team shared kind of their perspective of the design and the areas that they worked on. And so a lot of detail, manufacturing information, bill of materials information, and literally you could take this documentation and go off and build this robot. So a wonderful job to Team G-Force, and congratulations.
Thanks, Johnny. Up next is Mark.
Sure. So this award is for the Amazing Alliance. So this is for the team that, the set of teams that work together. We actually have 3 winners on this one that used partnership in order to solve a real world problem through cooperation. So often out there, there's a really big problem and it's something that just one robot can't solve. And you actually need a system of robots to go out and attack that. I think you all know that from the first competitions. And this is the team that really exemplified that alliance mindset and worked together. So the winner of that, and like I said, there's 3 of them. So the first one is FRC F5962, Persevere. So this is a set of 3 robots. The first one that is for a grocery delivery system. So Persevere Shop is the robot that actually grabs the items from the shelf. And then that passes it off to the next one, which is FRC 319, Big Bad Bob. So Bob 319 is holding a box that takes the object from Persevere Shop, and then that stacks it on top of the next robot, which is FRC 8046, the Laker bots. So the Laker cart is an actual automated grocery cart that takes those and moves around and goes and actually does the delivery of it. So a really cool system of 3 robots, really move over Amazon Robotics. Like all 3 of those, they look very industrial. They're very cool. I love that it uses a milk cart. Like that's just a common item that, you wouldn't have to source. Like I think that's just a really intelligent part of their design. There's a really cool story behind them. They hadn't worked together a whole lot before. So they just kind of reached out to each other on social. They were all in Open Alliance, so they kind of knew of each other. And then they just got on Slack. They got on Google Hangouts. They weren't like located near each other or anything like that. And when we created Onshape, that was one of the things that we really wanted to promote, was that collaboration and sharing, and it shouldn't matter where you are. You shouldn't have to pass files around. And I think this really exemplifies it, is that this team, just in a totally digital world, came together and they identified a problem together, and then they developed individual solutions that would attack different parts of that problem. And I think it's only fitting that the Amazing Alliance Award goes to the set of teams that really specialize their robots to solve a big problem with 3 different robots. So congratulations to those 3 teams.
Awesome. Great. Dave, the Awesome Aesthetic Award.
Okay. So we'll wait for that to come up. So the Awesome Aesthetic Award is the best aesthetics. That team is the Beaverbot team. And the Beaverbot team is FTC number 13601. This robot works to remove microplastics from roadways. The beaver, as everybody knows, is the engineer of the animal world. And fittingly, it's the mascot of both MIT and of Oregon State. It's also the mascot of the Beaverbots robotic team from Woodland High School in the great state of Washington. The problem that they're trying to solve is about microplastics. And microplastics are tiny pieces of plastic that are broken down from trash in our oceans and rivers. These pollutants end up not just in the water, but also in the sand on our beaches. They end up getting eaten by marine life and birds, and work their way up the food chain and kill many thousands of animals every year. The Beaverbot robot helps solve this problem by actually roaming beaches and conveying sand into a 3-layer rotating barrel that separates the microplastics using fine microfiber meshes. So it's a very, very clever idea, a very, very unique design. One of the most unique designs we saw. And in addition to solving an important environmental problem, it's also, in my opinion, an aesthetically attractive design and non-threatening. In fact, you could say it's kind of cute. And I think this is actually an important design consideration for a device that may be roaming a public recreational area. You don't want to scare the kids away. So the Beaverbot team has created a very functional robot that I think we can all agree is also aesthetically awesome.
Great. Thanks, Dave, and congratulations to the Beaverbots. Next up is the Best Branding Award, Mackenzie.
Awesome. All right. And so for the Best Branding Award, while this was a technical design competition, oftentimes a product brand has much to do with the success of that product at this design. So the winner of this award really created a strong brand for both their robot and their team. And so we can take a look at what that team was. So that was FTC Team 213, Team Greece, 001. So the Gaia robot helps collect pollutants, reduce the use of non-renewable resources, and improve the living conditions of people and animals by planting trees. So it really has a whole bunch of functions with that robot. And so in addition to making this really cool robot, in which they included some really awesome documentation. They really explained their problem that they were solving and what they did. They also had some additional documentation that they included to really set themselves above and beyond. So they're able to brand both their robot and then as well their team. So Tyler, I don't know if we, I don't know if we have the documentation they had, because it's really cool. I'd definitely love to show what they did.
The next slide.
Sorry.
There you go.
Perfect. Yeah, so you can see on the left there, they had some really great diagrams they created for their robot that really showed what it did and helped the judges to better understand what was happening there. But then on the right, they also included a 78-page document that went through their team and their history. Tyler, I don't know if you can hit play on that video, because we can actually do a quick scroll through of it all. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, just talking about their team history. It actually showcased some of their team members, which was really great to see who was actually working on these design challenges. And then it went into more of their research and more of why they chose the problem that they did and how that related to their robot name, because it was actually named after Gaia, who was the Greek mythological representation of the earth, and just so much more information that really helped brand, again, their team and their robot and tie it all back to why they were solving the problem they were solving.
Great. Congratulations, Team Greece. Such a beautiful branding job. Really nice.
Once this thing's over, I think we need to take a road trip there and actually see that robot, right?
Yeah.
Go on site.
Yeah, I don't know about a road trip to Greece from here, Johnny, but I'll take a trip with you. Great. So next up is the down to the details, and that's you, Johnny.
Great. Thank you. Well, design and concepts are important, but, as we know, to build things, details matter. And so adding detail, really requires you to think about all aspects, whether, it's the nuts, bolts, wires, and as well as every drawing for every part. And this award recognizes a team that went way above and beyond and included all those details in their model and in their submission. It was really, really fantastic. So if we go ahead and from the great state of Louisiana, it's team number 2992, SSS Prometheus. And this robot was designed to lift and raise a companion robot and groceries to help contamination and spread a virus. But the thing that was amazing about here is all the gearing, the pulleys, and their bill of materials. And if you went through this whole design documentation, it was not just the concept they were communicating, it was literally every part manufacturing drawing, every bill of material. They did costing, they did weight analysis throughout of where to source things. So it was really a fantastic job of really kind of taking a high level construct and idea, all the communication information necessary to get the concept across, but then all the details to make it possible so that somebody can take this package and actually go ahead and ultimately build it. So congratulations to our team 2992 from Louisiana with SSS Prometheus.
Awesome. Thank you. Next up is the Onshape Expert Award, which will be presented by Mark.
All righty. So in Onshape, oftentimes to make a piece of geometry or to make a part, there's often a lot of ways to approach it. But sometimes there's ways that are, really efficient and scalable, and they make your end design better. And we call those, best practices. And the Onshape Expert Award demonstrates that expert knowledge of Onshape, and it shows that they really have applied those best practices, and they end up with a really effective living document. So the winner of that award is FRC Team 7461, Sushi Squad. So they've got a super clean robot. So Stogie is a portable trash and debris collection robot with the capacity to get at cigarette butts from out of sidewalk cracks. So really great design. And, what I want to talk about is the thing that they did that really showed them as Onshape experts. So it's one aspect of Onshape that's pretty unique, is that you can use a really simple sketch as a master sketch, as we call it. That's a best practice that's really helpful. And what you can see what they did was they laid out where the wheels are, where the chassis is going to be, roughly the height and length of the arm. And then what they did was they used that sketch to kind of divvy up the parts, and then they would make those different things along the sizing and dimensions that were created by that geometry while referencing that master sketch. So number one, that's really helpful just for, doing space claim and actually building the robot, in the first place. But then when you get to like late staged design changes. Like maybe the arm needs to be longer, right? You discover that really long, really far into the process. You can actually go in and update that dimension on the sketch and then have things update accordingly. So, we showed this to one of the judging parts of the process was the Onshape technical team that helps our customers, that really they're Onshape experts and they help our customers be successful. They looked at this and they said, we wish all of our customers knew how to model like this. It's honestly like such a good technique, and you could see in the design they ended up creating really clean, really great use of the mechanisms and strong usage, all driven by that master sketch. So excellent job, great use of best practices, and they are our Onshape experts. So congratulations.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Congratulations. Next up is our Marvelous Modeling Award, and Dave will present that. Dave, you're muted.
There we go. Okay. So Marvelous Modeling. So part modeling is the part of the system that's used the most. It's one of the most fundamental aspects of CAD. And this award recognizes the team that spent the time to create their own custom geometry and to use the modeling features of Onshape in the best way. The winner of this award demonstrates mastery of modeling through detailed design and unique design of 3D geometry. And the winner of this award is FRC team number 1156, Under Control. And they created the Ocelot robot that's capable of detecting illegal deforestation activities and reporting them to the local authorities. To jump into that a little bit, Team Ocelot is an example of exceptional CAD modelers. Exceptional CAD modelers use the full set of tools at hand to accomplish their design goals. With their Ocelot robot, the Under Control team from Novo Hamburgo, Brazil, did just that. Their robot augments human efforts to control deforestation, tough word. It's a robust semi-autonomous vehicle that is tough and small enough to travel into dense forest environments where it can send back photos and data on what it finds, including temperatures and other data. The robot contains over 500 unique parts and well over 1,000 components.
Wow.
This team used many Onshape capabilities. One thing that they really used to its maximum capability is sheet metal. They use sheet metal to design many parts of the robot, including custom brackets, complex housings for the undercarriage gearboxes, and actually a sheet metal enclosure for the entire robot. But exceptional modeling is not just about using complex features. More importantly, it's about using the right tools for the right job. By employing sheet metal the way they did, Under Control achieved 3 specific design goals. They made the Ocelot much more affordable. They also made it much tougher, which is important for the environment it had to work in. And they also protected the interior components of the robot, which again, it's a very tough environment in a Brazilian rainforest, and that was important. Moving on, they also used other modeling expertise. For example, kind of like the last case, they used complex variational master sketches to understand and analyze the performance and positioning of their gearboxes. And finally, they made use of custom feature script features to create structural beam components for their design. And by doing so, they've shown curiosity to explain functionality that's not just within core Onshape, but it's provided by the extended Onshape community. Finally, I'd like to send a shout out and a thanks to Jake Rosenfeld, who's one of our best developers, and he did a lot of the legwork looking into these models. So he certainly helped out a lot, and actually did the large part of the work. So thanks a lot, Jake. He's also one of the creators of sheet metal, so he was certainly very happy to see this model. So I'd also like to finish up by saying, in their masterful use of sheet metal, custom features, and master sketches, under control, showed the qualities of great future engineers, and they're truly a team of marvelous modelers.
Wow, congratulations. That's fantastic. Thanks, Dave, for that excellent overview and commentary. So our next Superlative Award is the Feature Script Feat, and Johnny will tell us a little bit more about the winner of that award.
Great. So feature script, just so people understand, when we started Onshape, this was sort of a day zero decision, which is that, we knew that once we built Onshape, we couldn't go back and retrofit and put feature script in it. It's at the basis of everything we do in terms of product development. And it's a very unique aspect of Onshape, and it gives people a ton of power because it's the same code that we use, we make available for people to actually use themselves and to also customize and extend. And so the winner of the Feature Script Award has demonstrated sort of the best utilization and creation of feature script that improves the design of the robot. And we'll get into kind of what they did and why it was unique. So if we go to the winner, it is team number 1836, the Milken Knights, and the Aegis robot, which is a firefighting robot with a hose-mounted nozzle. Now, on just sort of the outside of things, you can't necessarily see the complexity of this model, but inside, what they've done is because they want to make this a firefighting robot that could adjust to many different types of hoses that might attach to it, they actually had lots of different configurations. And then they actually took feature script and in the drivetrain itself, they use feature script to actually automate many aspects of the drivetrain. So not only does it help you with a lot of the repetitive tasks you would normally use, which is sort of the basis of feature script and why people would be interested in doing it, but they also took a lot of the commercial off-the-shelf sort of components that they would use, and they built configurations and they organized in such a way that they could share with other users as well. So not only did they do their own individual productivity, they set it up with their team so they could then allow other people to access and use that feature script. So a great use of automation tools to not only help their own design, but also to make it so that they could explore many different options. And of course, if they wanted to share with other people as well. So, our original vision of feature script was that people could take this basis and extend it. And it's so wonderful to see that the team number 1836, the Milken Knights, really took advantage of it and gave us a great example of what's possible with feature script. So congratulations.
Thanks, Johnny. I love seeing these robots and just realizing how much more is going on than what you can actually see. There's so much more than what meets the eye. And when you kind of dig into the details and look under the hood, so to speak, it's really cool to understand all that went into these models. And again, thinking about the fact that so many of you didn't know Onshape or had never used it prior to a few weeks ago. It was super impressive and exciting to us to see what you're able to do. So we've got one more Superlative Award to give away. This might be my favorite one of my favorite robots, and I'll let Dave tell us about it.
Okay, so this award is the friendliest robot. Everybody knows robots can be intimidating to a lot of people. Some people love them. Some people are a little scared of them. As a result, commercial robots will tend to be designed in a way to make them more approachable by humans. You see a lot of that going on in Japan today. The Friendliest Robot Award goes to the robot that not only looks like it would do its job, but also would be pleasant to interact with. And that award goes to FRC team number 272, the Cyber Crusaders. They built the Clarence APD robot, which is an autonomous package delivery robot that can deliver packages and climb stairs. And as you can see, it's a very cute guy. I think it's even cuter than the Beaverbot robot I got to talk about earlier. Googly eyes always are a good thing. This robot is named Clarence, as I said. But Clarence is not just a pretty face. He was designed by the Cyber Crusaders from Lansdale, Pennsylvania. He's designed to deliver multiple sizes of U.S. Postal Service packages in a variety of household environments. Clarence can even climb stairs, and the Cyber Crusaders considered several different approaches to solve that problem, and finally settled on a design inspired by Dean Kamen's iBot. Clarence has over 100 unique parts and several hundred total components. The team used driving variables and feature script beam and sprocket custom features to execute their design. The design, this was a team that actually in their documentation was very good. This was a team that spent time at the beginning considering very different design alternatives. And you can see that in their design, it wasn't only when you look at different aspects of the design, the symmetry, it's not only the eyes, but it's actually an attractive robot in a lot of ways. And that is actually a big design consideration today that's going on, is how to make some of these robots that are actually more personal and interact in people's personal environments more approachable. Because Clarence is both functional and fun, the Cyber Crusaders deserve this year's Friendliest Robot Award.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Just a little backstory there. We were debating on the name of this award, whether it was the friendliest robot or most likely to be taken home as a pet. Just because it was so friendly and approachable. So great job, everybody. We want to congratulate all of our Superlative Award winners. It was definitely a hard decision, as it was with all of the robots, but congratulations to you. Just a reminder, if you're just now joining us, be sure to type !PTC into the chat so you can get up to speed. And now I'll turn it over to Tyler for the next round of giveaways.
Yeah, just want to give a big shout out to all the teams that won so far. Man, these are some incredible robots that have been created. Like, as somebody who is not technically skilled in that area, it just absolutely blows my mind just how cool these are. And it's so cool that, you know, with Onshape, that they're able to just create all these in the cloud. Like, to me, that also blows my mind. Coming from somebody who's been in FIRST for 20 years, think about where we were back then to where we are now is absolutely amazing. So with that said, we do have another giveaway coming up. I'm going to ask Alyssa to cue us in on what that giveaway is going to be.
This will be the $50 Andy Mark gift card.
Fantastic. $50 to use at AndyMark. And guys, if you've been following, if you're in the know right now, AndyMark definitely could use your help as well, too, as everybody's being impacted by COVID-19 and Infinite Recharge being extended as well, too. So big shout outs to them. But if you're interested in winning, you do have to make sure that you click that follow button. I promise you I will re-roll if you're not following the channel. For those who know, we will do that. But with that said, the keyword is going to be feature script, one word. Feature script, we're putting in chat right now. That's your opportunity to win. So type that in, and that is how you're going to get your chance to win the AndyMark gift card. We'll be drawing for that in just a few minutes.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, on to the next 5 awards. So these are our 5 runners-up. Runners-up are based on the total points from the judging rubric, and each of the finalist teams that we'll cover in the next few minutes will receive $500. So Mark will get us started with 8th place.
Yeah, so in 8th place, so for the $500 prize, we have we have FTC 17801 7 Machine. So they built the Cargo Plus robot, which is an automated hospital waste disposal robot. So I really liked how they approached the COVID-19 problem here. They did some research and they found out that experts were actually saying that one of the biggest problems with COVID-19 was waste disposal. It certainly makes sense. We're using more medical equipment than we ever have, and that may have been exposed to COVID, so it needs to be disposed of properly. So a really great kind of problem statement of just getting rid of all the trash as it's being generated. And the robot has a very simple but effective mechanism to it, which goes down, it grabs a bin from both sides, and that top part can slide up and down. It's got 2 linear slides, and then it can go forward and back. So it also just kind of very much looks like it should be in a hospital. It looks like what a hospital robot I think would look like. So really great job there. And you can see the detail in the model as well. They did a great job on the pulley system. That's really detailed. They included a panel. I know that doesn't sound like that cool, but it shows that they thought about not only what the robot should look like outwardly, but how would you service a robot, right? You're going to probably have to get into that system panel pretty often to change batteries or do something for service. So I love it that they included details like that into their design process. So overall, a really great robot, definitely deserving of this number 8 spot here. So congratulations to 17801.
Thanks, Mark. On to 7th place, Johnny.
Great. Well, for the 7th place, this is a team that we've seen before, actually, as part of something in terms of amazing alliances. And this team did a very interesting robot. And if we go ahead and click on the next slide, you'll see that it is the team Persevere. The robot's name's Persevere from team number 5962. And as Mark had previously said about a system, it's the system robots to receive grocery orders, collect them, and deliver them directly to customers' cars, reducing the amount of human interaction. And this robot, from a couple of standpoints, we thought were quite interesting. First of all, it's something that you might actually expect to see in kind of a warehouse or factory going to pick something up. They built it with some incredibly strong sort of structural elements, if you will, in terms of using a chain drive and the pulley, but also using suction cups to be able to grab things that might be, that require a little bit more sensitivity, if you will, if they're grabbing fruit or things that might crush. So it's a robot that works with the system. We saw it in the context of amazing alliances, but Team Persevere did an amazing job building a great robot, and one that we could actually expect to see sometime in the future. So congratulations.
Thanks, Johnny. 6th place. Dave, you want to tell us about our 6th place finalist? You're muted, Dave. There we go.
Our 6th place finalist is a great example of design. If we can forward to the next slide, it's the I'm not sure how to say it. I think it's Bayites, FTC 086. This is a design from Romania that we're very excited about. The Costica, again, pronunciation may be wrong, but Costica 3.1 robot, and it's a firefighting robot that enters high-risk situations to protect firefighters. It happens to be the case that 2 of the parents of 2 of the students who developed this robot are firefighters, so this is a personal situation to them. If you look at it, it's really a heavy-duty robot, beautiful design. Actually, I love the coloring too. It's fire engine red, which is great. It has, it will bring in, as you can see, it will bring in the heavy duty hose and has a cannon for directing the water stream. It has a cup for clearing the road. It has different diameter nozzles for dispersion. There really has been a lot of thought about how to make it controllable, how to get it into. It's a relatively small robot, but very powerful, so it can drag that heavy hose, which is even heavier because of all the water that's attached to it. For anybody who sort of has dealt with hoses before, it's quite a manual effort for firefighters, and so you have to have something which is very strong. And this robot, I think, is really creative. It was a great team. There were actually a number of robots that solved this kind of problem. I think there were at least 3 in the competition, which I found fascinating too, that this came up independently 3 different times. But I think that this robot is really a beautiful job, and is really an impressive feat.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. On to our 5th place robot, Mackenzie.
Great. So for 5th place, we have FRCT number 2067, Apple Pie. So this robot was the robot they built for the Evergreen Elder Care to assist the retirement communities by delivering medication, groceries, and completing other medical tasks. And so some of you may remember a little while ago, I mentioned Team 2067 as the 9th place winner as well. So this is actually the only team that submitted 2 robots to us. And both of them actually did really well. This team really did a great job with both of their submissions. They'd emailed us the day of saying, actually, we went and tried to learn more. We wanted to do 2 submissions. We wanted to make 2 robots just to go above and beyond and let more of our team learn. And so we thought that was really cool. So we had our judges look at both robots, and then this one ended up as a 5th place robot. And so if we look at the next page, we can actually see some of the details of why this one placed so highly. So they did some incredible modeling with this. You can see with that basket, they did some pretty complex designs there. They had a very detailed model that incorporated a lot of the elements they'd need. It really thought about a lot of the aspects that you would need in a retirement home and what you would need to fulfill by having some of the medication and the laptop holder and so many other things incorporated on this one cart to be able to drive around the retirement facility. And in addition to making this robot, they didn't just, kind of come up with a design on their own. They actually reached out to a local business. So they reached out to that Evergreen Woods that you can see in that bottom right to actually see what they need. And so in their documentation, they actually included a video that was the path the robot would need to take through the facility. So someone had actually walked through the facility and done the walkthrough to see what that robot would need to do and really thought through that design before just making the robot. So it's pretty cool that they had taken that care to actually reach out to a local business and figure out what they would need. And then you can also see something that was pretty unique about this design was on that top piece right there, you see those 6 little circular pieces coming out. So those are actually some pneumatic elevator button pushers. So we thought that was definitely a unique way to solve that design of having to go in the elevator. I know when we go back into our office, a lot of us have been kind of nervous about, we don't really want to be touching those buttons right now. So that was just another neat aspect that they had included when they did this design. So they had a lot of really great all-around things with their design.
Great. Congratulations, Apple Pie. On to 4th place, Mark.
Yeah, and in 4th place, we have FTC 8221 Cubics with the Can-Do robot. So that stands for Contactless Automated Nursing Delivery and Observation Robot. So maybe at first glance, this robot doesn't look too impressive, but as soon as you start to see it move, I think you see that, how much time was actually spent on this robot. I mean, this animation is so cool. I could watch this all day. The team did such an amazing job there. I'm actually selling them short. They had other videos too that we don't have in this presentation, but I mean, you could just sit here and watch that all day. So cool. But beyond just like a flashy video, it's also just like a really practical robot, and which is what I really love. So the team actually talked to nurses at their local hospital and at a nursing home to find out what are some of the problems due to COVID, and they got some great feedback. So like an example is that iPad that's being shown. Actually, for a patient to FaceTime with their family, which obviously is important to them, the nurse has to hold that iPad. And that's like a problem. It takes up time of the nurses. Obviously, the patients can't do it as often. So they made sure to include that in their design. And they actually went so far as to make sure there's like little rubber stoppers in there so that the iPad doesn't fall out as it's moving up and down. So really great job there. In addition to that, it's got some really good design. So it has a quadruple linear slide for the main part of the table. Now, linear slides can be kind of like flat. They can flex and kind of be weak and might not be good for a table, but they're opposing each other, and they're set up in such a way that it really does look like a really sturdy base. So I think they did an excellent job there. And then, Tyler, if you go for one slide, I've got a cutaway, and they just packed so much into that tiny little base. And I love that it comes down and folds up, because that means the center of gravity will be really low when it's actually moving around. So, I mean, just great design. Awesome video, and, good research, all around one of the best kind of submissions that we got, and absolutely deserving of our number 4 spot. So congratulations to this team.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, in case you couldn't tell, Mark was pretty excited about this robot. Great review, and just so cool to see all of the different work that's been done. It's interesting, there's so many different facets of product design and creation, and you think about documentation, branding, user research, just how these are all represented across the different 151 submissions. Again, super impressive. So congratulations to our finalists. Now we're going to turn over to Tyler for our giveaways. This next giveaway will be for another Andy Mark $50 gift card.
All right, so we're going to draw for one, and then we'll start the giveaway for another one, which will be a different keyword, by the way. So make sure you're ready. And just a reminder for live chat, only one time we'll get you in. This is honestly one of the few times we don't mind when people spam. So, spam police, it is in chat. Don't worry about it. We're taking a look at it. No worries. So, all right, with that said, the winner of the Andy Mark gift card is going to be Hermistic, congratulations. Once again, if you do win, please make sure you shoot First Updates Now a private message in Twitch or join our Discord to do so as well. And then we're going to start our next giveaway, as mentioned, from our friends at AndyMark, or going to our friends at AndyMark, and that's going to be Onshape. Onshape is your keyword, all one word, ONSHAPE. We'll be drawing for that in just a few minutes as well as we go through our winners. Don't forget, more giveaways to do as well, too. So as these teams, are winning and that sort of thing, and if you're a team that wins, make sure you stick around because we have a lot of cool prizes still to come.
Yeah, a lot of cool prizes and a lot of more robots to show. And in fact, right now we're down to the big moment. It's time to reveal our top 3 winning teams. So just like the finalists, the winners are based on the total points from the judging rubric, and they demonstrated real strength in all of the different categories. The prizes for these teams is $1,000 each. So we'll let Mackenzie kick it off, and we'll hear from each of the judges on each of the top 3 winners. So take it away, Mackenzie.
Great. So first we're going to start with our 3rd place team. And so that is FTC team number 341, Miss Daisy, and I actually believe that's an FRC team, so I apologize for that. So this is the Zumba robot that cleans and replenishes animal bedding in zoos to prevent the spreading of disease. So this is a really great problem, something super unique that we didn't see anywhere else. And it's something that really got the judges thinking. You don't really think about how the animals in a zoo could actually be getting COVID-19 from humans that are interacting with them. And so this robot actually goes around and will pick up the old bedding and litter and everything else in the animal's cage, put that in that first compartment, and then we'll be spreading new litter and new bedding in the robot or in the animal cages in the zoo. And so you can see what that looks like. So they had a really great problem that they were solving, as well as a really great mechanical design to solve that problem.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I thought was great about Mackenzie is that, one, obviously they kept things separate, both the kind of the old bedding that they're removing as well as the sort of new bedding. But I think what was great about it is the dispersion of the new material with the auger design that they had. It's enclosed, so you don't necessarily have to worry about people reaching into it. But the auger itself would allow for the distribution throughout, and of course, it's mechanically robust. So, the idea of brushing on the front end of it, getting the used material into a separate area with that chain elevator, but then the dispersion with that clever auger design, I thought that was very, very good.
Yeah, and Tyler, if you go forward a slide, there's a better picture of the auger. I thought that was really well done. An auger is actually kind of a difficult part to get like a nice natural shape for, and they used the helix feature in Onshape, and they really just did an amazing job at it. It came out really good, and I think they used it again as well on the front for that brush, which has that nice kind of V shape to it to help the material get picked up. So really great modeling on their parts. I mean, it was modeled really efficiently. Like the auger, I think, is like 8 features total. To make a part like that has the ratchets on the end too. So amazing modeling work in addition to a really cool assembly.
Yeah, I think also with this design, it's a very, very robust design. It's a very it's an industrial design. It's a powerful machine. So it really has to carry a lot of weight, and that's a hard thing to design for.
Yeah, and you can also see the details that they really went to with that design. If you go forward one more, they even included all of the rivets on the design. So you can actually see that they went through the painstaking task of going through and adding those different pieces to the model to really make sure when you look at their bill of materials and what that robot would actually need to complete, they had all of those parts that they would need on it.
And thank God they didn't put those friendly eyes in the front of it. Otherwise, the animals might attack it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Miss Daisy, for 3rd place. We'll move on now to 2nd place. And let's see. Mark, do you want to kick it off for us?
Yeah. So in 2nd place here, we have FTC 2901, Purple Gears. So they built a mover, which is a robot that can be controlled via phone app and travel to different parts of a medical facility to decontaminate equipment. So super complicated robot. They really did an amazing job. If you don't know, 2901 manages the FTC kit of parts. Us at PTC can't take credit for it. They created it and they manage it along with a lot of help from the community. And I think they used every single part from the kit of parts on this robot. It is so detailed. You can see absolutely everything in it. If you've used that kit of parts, you know that the BOM materials end up being super correct. Like you can just open up the BOM on this model, print it out. There's a link to every place to buy the part. You could buy all the parts, and then I'm sure you could just assemble the whole thing just looking at the model and never talking to 2901. So amazing job. I mean, that's why we do CAD, to give that level of detail to a model. So amazing job there.
You know, what caught my attention as I looked at this design, besides the fact that it's a great design and there's a lot of detail, is in part of the write-up, they talked about how they before they actually even started doing design, they talked to some of their advisors who were manufacturing experts, but they also sort of talked to the end user, if you will. They kind of went and tried to understand the problem a little closer to hand. So they spent time interviewing doctors to try and understand what it meant from a sterilization standpoint process. So, you know, good design starts with understanding the problem and understanding the problem well. And part of the way of doing that, of course, is not only through discussions with the potential users, but through observation. So to me, that carries from the early concept through into the product. So I thought I was very impressed by that.
Great. Congratulations to Purple Gears for the Mover robot in second place. Now we'll move on to first place, our first place winner, and Johnny will introduce that for us.
Well, I have the pleasure of doing this. This is really quite an amazing project that they started on in concept and design. And that is it's called R Factor from FRC number 6024. And this is a robot. It's called the Asphalt 10 Street Sense. It's a robot designed to identify and repair potholes on roads in real time. You know, we're from Massachusetts, and we have lots of potholes. So this was designed for India, but we would like it here in Boston. But you know, I love the fact that they shared some really important information. In the last 3 years alone in India, there was 9,600 deaths that were attributed to potholes alone. 25,000 injuries over the past 3 years. In the U.S., they estimate that for potholes alone, there's literally $3 billion spent, both for repair as well as sort of the damage that gets done to vehicles, et cetera. So we've all experienced, or anybody who's not from down south has experienced sort of the frustration of potholes. But what this design has done is very clever. It allows basically to carry up to 40 gallons of sort of cold asphalt mix and basically go over a pothole and be able to fill that pothole. I mean, my colleagues will share some of the details, but I will say this. They'll give you some of the details, but I think I have the best name for this thing. I think you guys should call this the Pothole Roomba.
Yeah, I love this robot. I mean, they did such a good job. I've actually been fortunate enough to go to Mumbai quite a few times. You know, where this team is from, and I love it there. I love just driving around and how much traffic and energy there is all around, and it's definitely something that I'm sure would be useful over there. And I think this design is super practical. Like it does the job that needs to be done. They talked a lot about the base pan at the bottom of this and how they designed it originally, and then they realized how much asphalt actually weighs. It's quite a heavy material, and they redesigned that base pan and went through design iterations based off of that information, and really had to optimize around what was a major consideration for them. So I love that they did that. They showed the revisions of the pan in their write-up. So really good job by them on that.
Yeah, the other big thing is the documentation was just fantastic. It was like another level. There was some great documentation, and it just goes to show you there's a lot of part of doing engineering and manufacturing. They did all of the bill of materials. They did all of the costing, manufacturing instructions. It was really a beautiful, beautiful job. And you really feel like this is professional work that's ready to go out there. This is going to be a very busy robot for those of us who have been to Mumbai. There's a lot of roads, and I'm not sure it's going to be able to find any room on the street to get over the pothole. But one thing is if it's in the road, people will find a way around it because in Mumbai everything just keeps moving no matter what's going on.
What they need to do, I think Rev 2, here's a Rev 2 idea for the team there, which is take your iPhone and connect it with the GPS so that people can report where the pothole should be, connect it to this machine so it can go there to actually fill it. So that's a Rev 2. That's an enhancement request.
It's nice to be giving one.
yeah, exactly, Dave. Instead of requests receiving them, it's nice to be giving one. Congratulations, though. Amazing design.
Yeah, congratulations. I several years ago had to replace all 4 tires after hitting one pothole. So I wish this had been around back then. That would have been super helpful. Yeah, congratulations to all of our top 3 winners and really to all participants. Great job for your hard work over the past several weeks, for taking on this challenge, in the midst of everything that was going on, lots of changes. We were excited to see so many of you sign up and participate and submit. We'll all watch with anticipation to see when your products go to market. So up next, Tyler's going to announce our latest giveaway winner, and then in just a few minutes, we'll give you a chance to see all of the remaining submissions for the contest, and we'll do one more giveaway. So Tyler.
Yeah, so once again, Onshape was the keyword if you're interested in winning. Don't forget, you have to make sure you click that follow button in order to win. And as Alyssa said, another giveaway still to come. So make sure you stick around and check out all the submissions that came through. You'll be able to see all the ones that we didn't check out here so far. So super cool stuff with that. Winner of this is going to be Tundra TR. Tundra TR, congratulations. You have won the $50 AnyMark gift card. So make sure you message First Updates now so we can get that over to you. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations, Tundra. So as I said, in just a few minutes, we'll have a chance to look at all of the remaining submissions and give you a chance to see the other cool designs that your fellow competitors came up with. First, we want to show you how you can stay connected and keep building awesome things with Onshape. So many of you that are joining us tonight have already created your free accounts. You've been building an Onshape clearly. This is what you submitted, but some of you may have not yet created your own account in Onshape, and we certainly encourage you and invite you to do that. It's free. You get online, fill it out, and you're online and going in just a matter of minutes. So no install or download or anything like that. Super simple. Another way to stay connected with us is follow us on social. We will have upcoming opportunities, more design competitions similar to this. And so we want to make sure you stay apprised of that. So make sure you connect with us on social. And then lastly, once you do, make sure you share what you're doing in Onshape with us using the hashtag #MyOnshape. So share your Onshape creations with us on Instagram, and be sure to tag PTC Academic and Onshape Inc. In your post so that we can see it and also share it, because we really love to celebrate what you build and showcase the great work that you're doing. It's super inspiring, not just for our team, but for everybody who sees it, as you are the rising generation and will bring all kinds of great inventions and creations to the world. So we want to celebrate that. So make sure you share it with us. Hashtag #MyOnshape. Lastly, we'll move on to our last giveaway, and then we'll show those remaining submissions to you. So Tyler, if you want to announce that last giveaway.
Yeah, last one. The keyword, once again, is going to be CAD in the cloud. Alyssa, what are they going to be winning for this one?
They will be winning a $50 Amazon gift card.
So once again, make sure you type CAD in the cloud just as it's spelled right in there. Don't forget, you have to make sure you are following in order to win. By the way, we're going to do this drawing during the video as it runs. So this won't be announced live on there, but you'll see it in chat and we'll tag you in that as well. Any people, just a reminder, once again, if you did win, please make sure you message First Updates Now in Twitch or join our Discord, which link is in chat for that. And you can message me in there so we can get that over to you.
Great. So yeah, make sure you stay connected for that announcement, and also so that you can see what all of your fellow competitors designed. So 51st to 151st place will be shown next in no particular order. Be sure to stick around to see that, and again for that fourth and final giveaway. And then just lastly, just want to say thank you to everyone for your participation. Thank you to everyone who's joining us tonight to celebrate the work of these teams that participated and contributed, and just a great job on your designs and on the work that you did. Again, I mentioned this at the beginning. Many of you didn't even know Onshape or had never used it before just a few weeks ago, and just all the work that you've done in the last few weeks is really inspiring, really incredible, and we congratulate you for that and thank you for that. And thanks to all of our judges and team members who helped to participate and contribute to make sure that this competition was a success. And with that, we'll turn on to our robots on parade.